Hey sis, I know it's been over 3 years since we last spoke, but I need a favor, so I'm just gonna come right out with it. You absolutely must come to mine and Valentino's wedding. Huh? Cassia, is that you? I'll send you the details later on, but for now, it's gonna be held at the Velvet Unicorn Hotel in Washington. I don't know your address, so just think of these messages as your wedding invite, okay? Why the heck would I come to your wedding, Cassia? This makes no sense. You seem to be forgetting that Valentino is my ex-husband. Why would I go to the wedding of the scumbag who cheated on me and watch him get married to the woman he cheated on me with? I'd rather have nothing to do with either of you for as long as I live, thanks. Honestly, how is it even possible that you think this is an acceptable thing to ask me? Are you doing it on purpose to try and upset me, or are you actually this dumb? Blah, blah, blah. When are you gonna stop crying over spilled milk, sis? Forget all that and come to the wedding. No way. Quit being so selfish and be happy for your baby sister. I know you know Mom and Dad aren't coming, which means if you don't come, none of my family will be there to watch me get married. Would you really do that to me? Would ya? Sure, I know that. I just don't get why you think trying to play on the fact we happen to be sisters would get me to come to your wedding despite the fact that I clearly despise you. Well, you're my sister, so I'm obviously gonna mention that you're my sister. God, you're annoying. If you don't come, the seats in the area for my family will be totally empty, which means you are most definitely absolutely coming, and that's that. I won't take no for an answer, so quit arguing and accept it already. Why am I only part of your family when it suits you? Toodles! I see you're just as stubborn and arrogant as ever. I'd have to be out of my mind to go to your wedding. Indigo, what are you doing? Where are you? Hurry up and get your ass to the wedding. Me and Valentino were struggling to get enough family members to come as it is. The last thing we need is you going all no-show on us at the last minute. People are going to think both of our families hate us if you don't come and fill the seat we prepared for you. Look, sis, I'm serious. You have to come. Hurry up and get to this hotel now.
Oi, Indigo! Hey, I can see you read my message.
Oh, hey, Valentino. It's been a while.
I'm pleased to see you didn't block me. I know I might be your ex-husband, but that would just be childish.
Actually, I did have you blocked until Cassia started harping on me about how I had to attend your guys' wedding. I had a feeling you might try reaching out to me, so I unblocked you just in case. I could have just blocked you both, but I figured if I did that, she might start bugging my friends to try and track down my address or pull some other crazy shenanigans. I can assure you I'll be blocking you again as soon as I determine your insane fiancé poses no threat of causing a nuisance to my friends.
Threat? Don't be ridiculous. Anyway, forget that crap. All that matters is that we can message each other.
Did you want something?
Do I seriously have to spell it out? I think you know why I'm here. Me and Cassia are getting married today. We prepared you a seat in the family area, so if you don't come and fill it, we're gonna look stupid. This isn't the time for messing around, okay, Indigo? You owe this to your baby sister. I get that you're probably still not over me and that every day without me in your life must be a struggle, but that doesn't mean your baby sister deserves to get married without a single family member there to see it. Surely you can forget your petty jealousy and quit holding a grudge for just one day? This is supposed to be the happiest day of your sister's life, damn it!
2 corrections.
Huh?
Firstly, the idea that I'm still not over you is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Far from every day without you being a struggle, I feel blessed that you're no longer a part of my life, and honestly felt like vomiting when I saw you pop up in my inbox.
What?
Secondly, my sister only has herself to blame for the fact that I have no interest in being there for her wedding. Why would you ask me to come and play happy families after what you did to me? Me and her are essentially strangers now, so I'd be nothing more than an actress, and an unpaid one at that.
Huh? Strangers? How could you be strangers? You're sisters, for crying out loud.
You don't seem to understand what I'm saying, do you? Wait, didn't she tell you?
Quit talking crap and get your ass down to this wedding at once!
had to go. How could you do this to me? You're horrible. All of the family seats at the wedding were empty. I could hear everyone whispering about me, and it's all your fault. Are you really bothering me with this again? Seriously? Who bails out of their beloved baby sister's wedding at the last minute? You're sick in the head. To think you were the only family member I invited, you're horrible. Huh? Baby sister? But I'm an only child. Huh? An only child? What are you talking about? Wow, you genuinely don't know, do you? At first I thought you were just being intentionally obtuse or were too stupid to understand what I was saying. But you really don't know, do you? Did Dad never say anything to you before he died? Are you going to make a point? Unless you're going to explain why you think it was acceptable to bail out of my wedding at the last minute, I'm not interested in listening to your rambling. Well, let me start from the end and save us both a bunch of time. We're not blood related. Huh? What the hell? What are you talking about? That can't be. Wow, they genuinely never told you anything, did they? Dad said he was going to tell you once you turned 20. Good grief. Explain now. Sure thing. Let me start by telling you this. You're Mom and Dad's real daughter, and I was adopted. Adopted? Mom and Dad were having trouble conceiving and were just about ready to give up on having children of their own when they came to the orphanage I lived at. After visiting me for a few weeks, they decided to adopt me. Then, 2 years later, as if by a miracle, Mom got pregnant with you. That's why Mom and Dad always had a tendency to play favorites with you while leaving me to my own devices and doing the bare minimum when it came to looking after me. So between that and the fact they kicked me out 10 years later as soon as I hit 18, I had the adoption scrapped and I officially became parentless. I haven't had a family ever since. Basically, I'm not your sister and I never really have been. You're not my sister? Didn't you think it was strange when I didn't go to Mom and Dad's funeral when they died 5 years ago? Your Mom and Dad, I should say. Like hell, I was going to mourn them when they barely even bothered to raise me. Any relationship I had with you, with any of you, ended the moment I had the adoption scrapped on my 18th birthday. Ever since that day, me and you have been nothing but strangers, and that's how I intend to keep it. You have no idea how great it felt to know I'd never have to face the loneliness and isolation I suffered in that house with you all on the day I left. It was like this huge storm cloud that had been hanging over me evaporated in an instant. Oh my God! Which is why it felt like being punched in the gut when you suddenly showed up again that day 3 years ago declaring you'd stolen my husband before receiving the news Valentino was divorcing me. I spent every waking hour of the whole 4 months we spent going through the divorce proceedings wondering what I'd done to deserve it. My head was a mess, I was barely sleeping, I lost my appetite, and it felt like my entire world had been flip-turned upside down. Then, with the divorce over and done with, I finally pulled myself together again, determined to make the most of my fresh start. Now, 3 years later, at a point when I finally feel truly satisfied and fulfilled in my life, you show up out of the blue demanding I come to your wedding to pretend to be your sister so people don't think your family hates you. I thought Dad would have told you the truth on your 20th birthday, so when you first messaged me, I was like, what the hell? Why would she invite me as family when we're not even related? I came so close to blocking you right then and there, but I know what you're like, and I thought you might try to bug my friends to get through to me. But I didn't know we weren't related by blood. I thought you were my real sister. Yes, it would appear so. I have no idea why Dad didn't tell you like he said he would, and I guess we'll never know now. Unfortunately, that meant I had no choice but to tell you the truth myself. He's still causing me hassle from beyond the grave, huh? It's kind of ironic when you think about it. I can't blame you for not knowing, and I don't hold that part against you, but I hope you understand this means that me and you are done once and for all, Cassia. So, if we're not blood related... Right, your mom and dad were both only children, and none of your aunts and uncles are with us anymore. I guess if you really tried, I don't know, maybe by using one of those family history tracking sites or something, you could probably find a distant relative, but you'd still be total strangers, and I doubt they'd go out of their way to come to your wedding on such short notice just to fill a frickin' seat. Oh my God, you're right, I have no one! There isn't a soul left in the world I can call family! I have nothing further to say. We are done here. Indigo, no! Goodbye. Indigo, are you there? Where are you? I need to know where you are, like, right now. Huh? Why are you messaging me again? Listen, me and Valentino got a divorce. Jesus, seriously? But it's barely been a week since you got married. I know that, but well, that jerk was after my mom and dad's inheritance money all along. What? I don't know why, but he was convinced I inherited a bunch of money when they died 5 years back. It's like he had this wild idea stuck in his head, and no matter how many times I tried to set the record straight, he just wouldn't let it go. It got so ridiculous, I thought he was joking. But why would he think that? They were never particularly well off. I mean, they weren't poor either, but we hardly lived in the kind of house that wealthy people live in, and there were certainly no Ferraris in the driveway. Right, they did say they had a little more financial freedom after they kicked you out, but still, we were just an average middle-income household. It's not like they suddenly got rich after you left or anything. Nothing changed, and yet that asshole was dead set on them being secret millionaires or something. Actually, there was some inheritance, but it wasn't much. Really? I see. But no matter how many times I told him, he wouldn't believe me. He was convinced I'd inherited a bunch of money. The day after we got married, he said he was buying a new house and a Lamborghini and demanded I give him the money. Can you believe it? I mean, talk about jumping the gun. It was like he had this whole extravagant plan mapped out in his head before we'd even been married 5 damn minutes. When I asked what the hell he was talking about, he yelled at me. I know how much you inherited from your parents. Quit being such a goddamn tightwad. When I told him I didn't inherit enough to buy the new house and car, he flipped out, and so we got into a huge fight, and well, to cut a long story short, we got a divorce. Wow. Anyway, so that's what happened, which is why I was thinking of coming over to your place to live with you. Wow, are you kidding? There's no way that's gonna happen. I mean, it's literally impossible. Why? Oh, nothing's impossible if you try, Indigo. We're both totally alone now, right? It's not like we'd be staying together as sisters or anything. Just think of it as a room share type arrangement. Go on, sis. You know how convenient it would be. We could even start splitting the bills once I start making some money. That's not why it's impossible. It's impossible because I'm not in America anymore. Huh? I came to Malaysia on a work transfer. Initially, it was only supposed to be a 5-year stay. But I met a guy here. One thing led to another, and, well, we fell in love. I converted to Islam, and now we have 3 kids together. I'm gonna be in Malaysia for the rest of my life, Cassia. Oh my god, what the hell? No way! I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I ended up crazy sleep-deprived after dealing with your messages when you woke me up in the middle of the night on the day of your wedding. Time zones can be a bitch. Oh my god, so you don't even live here anymore? Oh, this is bad, bad, bad. But this means I'm totally alone without a soul in the world to rely on. Oh my god, this sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, what is it? I have no one to turn to, no one to lean on for support, no one I can even call a friend. Listen, Cassia, I'm not gonna pretend that doesn't totally suck for you, because it does. But even if I was still living in America, there's still no way I'd do a room share with you. Heck, you couldn't even pay me to. What? Why not? Do I seriously need to spell it out? Duh, I'm asking because I don't understand. I guess it's not such a surprise that someone with a tendency for destroying people's lives by stealing their husbands would also be totally lacking in self-awareness. Huh? What does that mean? Explaining it would be pointless. You have to think about this by yourself. Anyway, I think we're done here. We are? We're walking along different paths, Cassia. Shall we just call it a day here? There's nothing to be gained from dragging this out a second longer. But you're my big sister. No, I'm really not. Indigo! Goodbye, my ex-sister.
Indigo, are you there? Let's get married again. I've been doing some serious soul searching, and I think I'm ready to give things between us another shot. So what do you say, babe? Shall we reignite that old flame and dive back into our sweet love adventure together? You see, babe, life's just not the same without you by my side, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make things right between us. Me and Cassia got a divorce.
I live in Malaysia now, so I can't. Sorry.
Malaysia?
I'm here on a work transfer. I'm also married with 3 kids, so I'm probably going to be spending the rest of my life here, which is why the whole remarriage thing is going to be, difficult.
What? What the hell am I reading?
I heard about the divorce from Cassia, and I'm pretty sure I more or less know how it went down.
You did?
Yep, so I'm sorry, hun, but this ain't gonna happen how you thought it would.
Indigo!
Kindly never message me again for the rest of your life. Thanks. After that, I received a series of updates on the whole Cassia and Valentino situation from an old friend back in the States. Apparently, the whole thing started to disintegrate when Valentino quit his job, thinking he was set for life, having just married a woman in possession of lavish amounts of inheritance money. Of course, me and you know that money never existed, and it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that hopelessly deluded serial cheater's world fell apart when he found out. Last I heard, he currently spends his days desperately looking for a job while the deadline on his overdue rent payments looms ever closer. As for my ex-sister Cassia, it turns out she was hoping Valentino would provide for her for the rest of her life, because she quit her job as soon as they started dating. Kinda ironic how they were both after each other for the same thing, huh? I heard from an old friend that they regularly bump into each other at the job center. And every time they do, security have to be called to separate their vicious fights, and more often than not, the cops end up being called. As my friend puts it, I don't see why they don't just stop being stubborn and go to a different job center. To be fair, she has a point. If they were genuinely done with each other, they'd stop, but I guess it really is like they say, misery loves company. These are just some of the philosophic musings I indulge in while reading my book, drinking my coffee, and eating scones out on the sun lounger in my backyard in the scorching Malaysian heat.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Russo. Could you please leave your room by the end of this month and give it to me?
What? Why would I do that?
I know we're old friends and that we used to get along. I'm now your brother Herman's wife, so...
I was wondering why you had suddenly contacted me. So what if you're my brother's wife? Does that make you better than me or something?
Yes, it does. Our positions are no longer equal. I wish you would realize it already.
What do you mean, our positions, LOL? All you did was make my brother marry you by getting pregnant with him.
Shut up. You see, I'm currently pregnant with the inheritor of this family's property as the eldest son's wife.
What do you mean, inheritor? I mean, it's true that my brother is a CEO, and it's true that since everyone in the family has positions in his company, it would be best if there was a next generation who would inherit the company after us, but...
Oh, so you do get it, LOL. And here I thought you didn't understand.
Let me finish. It's true that we're probably going to have someone younger in the family inherit the company, but it hasn't been decided that your child is going to be it.
Huh? Of course it's decided. I mean, my husband is the company's CEO after all. Stop spewing nonsense and just give me your room. I'm going to make that my child's room.
Okay then, where am I going to go?
I think there was a closet somewhere that wasn't being used, right? LOL. There's enough space to lie down, so why don't you go move in there?
Louisa, I've been wanting to ask you for a long time, but...
What is it?
Back when we were in high school and you would visit my house, you would always insult my brother behind his back, saying that he was such a gloomy introvert that wasn't attractive at all, and that the only good part about him was that he was a hard worker. But the minute that you found out that he was being raised as the inheritor of grandfather's company, you started pretending that you liked him and approaching him, right?
So what if I did? It doesn't change the fact that I'm currently pregnant with Herman's child and that I'm now his wife, LOL.
You did this on purpose, didn't you? You purposefully got pregnant with his child so that he would have no choice but to marry you.
That's a serious accusation!
We talked about what we wanted to do in our futures when we were still in school, right? I still remember what you said. I thought you were just joking at the time, but apparently not. You said that you wanted to become the wife of the CEO so you could live a life of luxury without ever having to work, right? You even said that your plan was to get pregnant with a rich CEO's baby and swiftly bring it into a marriage.
Oh, I guess I did say something like that. I mean, who wants to work when you don't have to, LOL?
So that's what you did with my brother?
Fine, I'll tell you. It won't matter since no one in the family is going to take your side, so... Yes, my dream is to become the wife of a CEO. The life of poverty I had to endure as a child was traumatic, you see. And I know that this dream of mine came from my experiences as a child, but who cares about the past anymore? I spent every day running towards my dreams when finally I found my CEO, your brother Herman. I had sex with your brother with the sole purpose of getting pregnant with his baby. And as you can see for yourself, I was successful. Now, as the wife of the CEO and as the mother of the next one, I have the second highest position in this family next to your brother.
Oh, is that so? Well, it's not like I'm surprised. After all, you did tell me yourself that this was your dream, so...
If you understand, then move out of your room because I'm going to make it my child's room. I'm the CEO's wife, remember? I have the second highest position in this family after your brother, so that means that you have to do what I say. If you don't, I'm going to tell your brother. Oh, I just came up with a great idea. You're going to be my personal housemaid from now on.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about?
All right, let's start immediately then, shall we? I'm thirsty, maid. So bring a cup of juice to my room right now.
No. I'm not your maid.
What? Did you not hear a word I said?
If you want a personal housemaid, then why not beg my brother for one or something? I mean, he can probably hire you one if he wants to.
Why, So you did actually not hear a word I said. I'm the wife of the eldest son of this house, who also happens to be the current CEO. Not only that, but I'm the mother of the next CEO. Therefore, I am better than you, and you have to do what I say. Know your place. You're just an embarrassing failure of a woman who couldn't find a husband. Go get me my cup of juice now.
Get it yourself, bitch.
What did you call me?
Say whatever you want, but I'm not going to do what you tell me.
So, you intend on rebelling against me?
Well, yes. I'm going to be cutting ties with you, so do as you please. It's none of my business anymore.
You're doing what?
I already packed my stuff and found a new place to live. All I need now is to leave.
Oh, I see.
Well then, goodbye. I hope we never have to see each other again. I don't know why we were ever even friends back in school.
What? You're leaving now? Hold on, does your family know about this?
You can do whatever you want with the stuff I left in my room. I don't need the desk, nor the drawers, nor the bed. Bye.
Hey, Russo, you didn't contact us in the 10 years since you left home. But now I find out that you're the wife of the CEO of the company even bigger than Herman's? You've got to be messing with me, right? Answer my calls, goddammit! Russo, I'm not going to let you just get away with this!
Hello, Louisa. Long time no see. How's my brother Herman doing? I don't give a fuck about you anymore, so I would have just ignored you. But there's something I want to ask Herman about his company, so...
What? What about Herman's company?
Did you hear that my brother's company is on the verge of collapse?
Yeah, I heard. So what? You already know that, right? And you asked me just to gloat. You're a sick person, Russo.
Sorry, but I don't want to be called sick by someone who purposefully got pregnant with my brother's child so that she could marry him. If I'm sick, then you must already be dead.
Huh? That didn't even make sense, Russo. If I'm sick, then you must already be dead, LOL. What in the world are you talking about anyways? Didn't you become the wife of a CEO yourself? You have no right to call me out on this when you're just the same as me. I bet you even used the same tactic I used and got pregnant with him beforehand, right? LOL.
You seem to be misunderstanding. I didn't reply to your text today because I wanted to argue over your pointless rubbish. Nor did I come to gossip with you about me and my husband's marriage. I came because I'm the CEO of the company that's going to be purchasing Herman's. By the way, my husband is the vice CEO.
Huh? Did I just hear you correctly? You're the CEO of the company? You've got to be kidding.
I think you probably know the name. You'll see it if you check the homepage of my brother's company right now.
What? So you were being serious when you said that you were a CEO, and that your husband was the vice CEO?
Of course I was being serious. I'm not about to joke about something as important as the purchase of a company. 10 years ago, when I left home, I had already started preparing to start my own business. My boyfriend, who is now my husband, was also a part of this initial preparation. Once we started the company, we ran it together. Me as the CEO and my boyfriend as the vice CEO. And we got married 7 years ago when the company's sales stabilized. We even have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old son.
Hey, can I ask you something important? If Herman's company agrees to your purchase, then what is going to be Herman's position in the company after that? Is he still going to be the CEO?
I'm surprised I didn't know you could make such reasonable questions.
Quit it! I'm not messing around right now!
Well, yes, it's not decided yet as to what Herman's position in the company will be after the purchase. I think he's probably just going to be a regular employee, though.
A regular employee? Why? You would do that to your own brother? You're so heartless. It's ridiculous for the CEO to suddenly become a regular employee at his own company.
I think it can't be helped. This is Herman's fault, not mine, so don't blame me. During the time of the previous CEO, that's Herman's grandfather, there weren't any problems. In fact, the company was even growing when grandfather was in charge. But as soon as my brother took charge, the company's been on a downward spiral. We can't let someone like that continue to have a high-ranking position in the company.
But he's your own brother! You can't just do this to him!
Sorry, but I'm not about to involve personal affairs in business. Besides, it's not like you two are suddenly going to be thrown into poverty. Even regular employees at his company make decent money.
It's not his fault the company is about to go bankrupt!
Actually, it kind of is. The company only lasted this long because veteran workers who have been here since when grandfather was CEO were keeping things together. But since people like that slowly went into retirement one by one, no one could hold the company together any longer. And so, here we are.
What? I didn't know anything about this. Herman never told me.
Herman just doesn't have what it takes to be a CEO. He was only chosen in the first place because grandfather liked him best out of his grandchildren. A decision I always found questionable. And besides, it's not like I alone get to decide on the matter. Most of the other executives are of the same opinion.
This can't be happening. But I had finally achieved my dream of becoming the wife of a CEO. To think that it would come crumbling down after only 10 years. Why? I got divorced with your brother.
What? Why?
The purchase of the company was made official, and he's no longer the CEO. That's why I divorced him. I don't want the child either, so I gave Herman custody of him.
And why are you telling me this? Do you just want someone to talk to, or what? I'm fine if that's the case, but I'm not going to do anything weird for you.
I'm telling you this because I want your husband instead. Give him to me.
What? Did I hear you correctly?
He's the vice CEO, right? My dream of being the wife of a CEO may now be ruined, but given the size of your company, the vice CEO's wife should probably be able to live in luxury as well.
Louisa, I think you're saying that without even knowing who my husband is.
Yeah, I guess I don't know who he even is, LOL. But who cares as long as he's rich, right? All I need to know is that he's the vice CEO of a large company, LOL. I'm still as attractive as I used to be, so I'll just make him impregnate me again and marry him. Just like I did with your brother, LOL. Get ready, because I'm going to steal your husband from you.
But my husband is your brother, Louisa.
What? Ew! My brother!
Your brother left your home around the same time I left mine, right? He was always treated unfairly by your parents, who only loved their daughter, you. I, on the other hand, was practically ignored by my own parents, who only cared about a successor for the company. We lived next door to each other, remember? Don't you think it's only natural that these two lonely people who had to go through similar hardships, at first only sharing each other's pain, gradually fell in love with each other?
What? You and my brother were together ever since you two left? But I never knew that you two were dating. Seriously?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't make sense for you to steal my husband.
Seriously? But that means that I won't become the wife of a vice CEO no matter what now. What am I going to do? I divorced your brother because I thought that I could marry your husband, but why didn't you tell me sooner?
Well, I didn't really feel the need to tell you, so...
This is all your fault. What are you going to do about this? I need to find another CEO to marry quick now that I can no longer rely on Herman. At this rate, not only am I not going to live a life of luxury as a CEO anymore, but I'm going to have to live on the streets.
Why don't you get a job?
No! I'm not getting a job no matter what. Because my dream is to become the wife of a CEO. Getting a job would defeat the purpose, don't you understand?
I get what you're trying to say, but just like you said yourself, at this rate you're going to have to live on the streets.
No, I'm not giving up on my dream.
Your perseverance is admirable, I guess.
Russo, please, I need your help.
Huh? What is it now, Louisa? Do you still not have a job?
I don't have time for that right now. There are bigger problems. I need money. Hurry up and wire 30,000 euros to my account.
What?
If you think about it, you're my sister-in-law, right?
But didn't you divorce my brother?
Who cares about the details? If you're my sister-in-law, then giving me some money in a time of need is only natural, right? So come on, just give me the 30,000 euros. I need it quick. Actually, make that 50,000 euros just to be safe. Put the money in the bank account that I'm going to send you now. Russo, you haven't sent the money yet. Please, I need 50,000 euros right now. There's no time to waste.
I never said I would be giving you the money. Heck, you never even told me why you needed it in the first place.
What? So you're telling me that you're not going to do as I say? I'm the wife of the CEO and the mother of the inheritor of this company. Wait. Actually, I'm not anymore, but I used to be. So you have to do what I say.
At least tell me what you're going to use it on first.
That's none of your business. Just send me the money. You're rich, right? Isn't it in the manners book for rich people just to hand out money without asking at times like this?
I don't know of any such manners book, so I'm not going to send you the money.
Why not?
Let me guess. You tried to seduce a man that was already married, got caught, and now his wife is asking you to pay an alimony of 30,000 euros? Did I get it right?
How in the hell do you know all that? Do you have spies working for you or something?
No, I don't have any spies. But let me continue. You weren't scared putting your hands on this man since he's a CEO. And even if you're made to pay an alimony, he'll pay it for you because he's rich, right? But he also happened to be an adopted son-in-law, and as soon as it was found out that he was cheating, he was kicked out of their house, which was owned by his wife's parents. Am I right?
Hold on. How did you know all this?
That's a good question. I don't have spies, But the wife of this man that you laid hands on also happens to run her own company and is one of my company's business partners. So I know her personally, and she told me all about it. What do you mean she runs her own company? She's the wife of a CEO, but is also the CEO of another company herself? What in the hell is that? Why would you do such a thing? There's no rule stating that you can't work if you're the wife of a CEO. Not everyone is like you, Louisa, wanting to just live a life of luxury without ever having to do any work. But work sucks. Why would you voluntarily do it? I don't know about this dream of becoming a CEO's wife of yours, but I'm not going to give you 50,000 euros. But Russo! It's true, I don't have any money. My boyfriend got mad at me for some reason, and now he says he won't pay the alimony. I really have no one else I can count on. My parents can barely get by as it is, so I can't possibly ask them. Please, Russo. It would be so easy for you. We're friends, right? Just give me the money. At times like this, Luisa's parents would usually save their daughter, who they loved too much. But it seems that they had already spent a fortune on Luisa in the past and are now in debt. Luisa apparently did try to get them to pay, but it seems her parents finally ran out of patience for her and turned her away. Not only that, but they cut ties with her, telling her never to come back. Luisa, who now realized that no one was going to give her any money, was forced to get a loan from somewhere. Even Luisa, it seems, with her dreams of marrying a CEO, would rather work than live on the streets. So she decided to find a job. She was eventually able to get a job that came with housing. At first, she was relieved because it seemed like she would no longer have to worry. But then she realized that she now actually had to work. For Luisa, now in her late 30s, this was her first ever job. I hear that whenever she makes a mistake at work, her colleagues scold her for it. And she gets angry back at them, saying, "I used to be the wife of a CEO." Apparently, some of the employees find it hilarious and purposefully pretend to get mad at her, just to see her reaction. It looks like she'll never learn.
Hi, Ron. Would you like to go out for dinner after work today? I'd be even happier if you got a reservation at a restaurant with a view.
Miss Cross?
Please, call me Pam.
I'm sorry, but I have a meeting with our branch overseas at night today. I have to stay after work since there's a time difference. Not only that, but I'm trying not to go drinking or eating with other women. It's no use no matter how many times you invite me.
What? How many times have you turned me down like this until now? Let's just try and go out once, okay?
I need to get back to work, so goodbye.
Ron, come on.
Hi, Claire. I'm finally done with work.
Must have been a hard day.
Sorry about today. I was planning on having dinner at your apartment after work today, but...
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Still, though, this overtime came out of nowhere.
Yep, it was suddenly decided that we would have a meeting with our overseas branch. There was a time difference as well, so it was a mess.
Make sure to get some rest, all right?
Yeah, thanks.
So, are you going to go straight home today?
Yep. We're going to discuss the wedding ceremony with the planners tomorrow, so I should probably get some sleep.
Yeah, I'll take a bath and go to bed early as well.
Alright, see you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night. Hi, Claire. You probably still have no boyfriend because you're so ugly, right? Oh, it's you again, Pam. What do you mean it's you again? I've told you this 1,000 times. I cut ties with you and everyone else in my family once I graduated high school and was kicked out of home.
Haven't you noticed that just because you got my new phone number from my friends who didn't know what happened doesn't mean I'm gladly welcoming your texts? Of course! That's why I'm texting you. I don't know what's funny about this, but I'm no longer the girl you knew who was always tense and scared of what her family thought. Even if you insult me like you used to back home, I just don't care what you have to say anymore. Huh? If that's fine with you, then all right. I'll reply to your texts, but I think we'll just be wasting each other's time. It'd just be a bother, really. Huh? What's with the attitude? You're just a failure that was never loved by Mom and Dad. Yes, but Aunt and her husband adopted me and treated me like I was their own daughter, so it doesn't really bother me. What? What's your deal? You've never even had a boyfriend. But I do have a boyfriend. What? There's something I need to take care of now. Bye. Hey, you really surprised me. There's no way an ugly woman like you could ever get a boyfriend. You're lying. I, on the other hand, am on good terms with the son of a CEO. I can't quite take our relationship to the next step, which is a bit bothersome, though. But this is without a doubt proof that I'm important to him. The way he's so stoic and strict is a sign that he's going to be a good husband once we get married. So there's no need to worry. I want to be the wife of a CEO so bad. Hi, Ron. What's the meaning of this?
What is it, Miss Cross?
The invitation to your wedding ceremony that you are handing out to everyone in the department? Why did you give one to me as well?
I thought that it was my responsibility as a son of the CEO, and as the person who's going to be the CEO after my dad. My fiancé agreed to it as well, so it was decided that I would invite everyone in the company to our wedding reception. Of course, I'm not forcing anyone to come, and it won't affect your standing at work either, so it's fine if you don't go.
That's not what I'm talking about. What do you mean you're getting married? I thought I was your girlfriend.
What are you talking about? I don't remember you ever being my girlfriend, and I turned down all your invitations to dinner. I told you that I wanted you to stop as well.
But that's because I was important to you, right?
To be honest, I don't remember doing anything that might have given you the idea that I was interested in you. I've been going out with my fiancé ever since university.
What?
It's been almost 10 years, but even if we did have a few fights, we've gotten along. I think that I was loyal to her in my own way during that time. I don't think that's going to change once we get married, but if you're going to spread strange rumors, whether outside the office or in it, then I'm going to have to intervene where I have to. Please stop making any more trouble.
But... Hold on. What's the meaning of this? Why are you at this wedding? This is supposed to be Ron's wedding, right? I get it now. You're trying to take over the wedding, right? I can't believe this. There's no way he'd marry an ugly hag like you. It's no use trying to seduce the groom when he's the son of a CEO. The only person who's allowed to destroy this wedding is his true lover, me. I'm the one who's going to stand next to him wearing a wedding dress. I won't let you bother us. I'll kick you out no matter what. That's what you get. I pulled you all the way outside of the venue. I came up with it on the fly, but me rubbing balls of dirt I made from the flower bed was effective as well. That was so fun. No, not only can you no longer enter the venue, but you won't be able to show yourself to Ron. That was you, Pam? Yep. Did you not notice because I had gotten so much prettier? I can vaguely recognize you, but I was surprised because the evil determination on your face was so evident. What? I just told Ron what you did to me. Huh? So what if you told him? He's not going to help someone like you even if you did. On the other hand, he is going to treat me like a hero now for saving his wedding. There's no way a hag like you could ever be a bride. Oh my, this might be my chance. Pam, did you read the names of the bride and groom on the wedding invitation? What?
Miss Cross, what are you doing to my bride? I just got to Claire. She was covered in dirt. This is horrible.
What's going on?
Claire told you, right? Look at the names of the bride and groom on the wedding.
Okay. What? Is this my sister? Huh? My sister's name is written as the bride's name.
Claire's last name changed because she was adopted by her aunt. But it seems that you met your aunt now and then as well, so you must know her last name was Nelson, right? Did you not think anything when you saw Claire Nelson?
I didn't look at the invitation properly.
Huh?
I didn't want to look at the bride's name since it would make me feel like I had lost. I didn't want to know the name of the person who stood in my way of becoming a celebrity wife. How should I have known that the wife of Ron, who's so high-spec'd, is my ugly failure of a sister?
I don't appreciate you insulting my fiancé like that, but...
Oh, no. It's just that...
But Claire says that isn't the problem, so I'll pretend I didn't hear it. You understand now, though, right? My fiancé, Claire, is your sister.
That's impossible. Why am I being fired?
Did you receive a notice from HR saying that they would process it as your voluntary resignation out of pity?
But all I did was rub some dirt on my sister's head.
You're lucky Claire didn't file a complaint against you. It would normally have been considered as assault, apparently. To tell you the truth, I was worried about what you might do at the day of the wedding. But you managed to slip by unnoticed and sneak into the bride's waiting room. There's a male employee that helped you during this, right?
There was no such person.
This male employee told me everything. He regretted his actions and voluntarily quit. You used your body to make him do what you said, right?
My only feelings are those I have toward you.
I talked to your parents about this.
What? Mom and Dad? What did they tell you?
I told them that I wouldn't file a complaint and let you off with a standard alimony if they accepted one condition.
Mom and Dad help me? It must be because they love me so much. Because unlike Claire, who was an ugly good-for-nothing, I was pretty and talented.
I don't know whether you would call this saving you, but...
So? What conditions did you give them?
Firstly, you three would erase all the contact information you have of Claire, and that you would never bother her again.
Oh, that much is nothing. Who cares if I can no longer see Claire? I'd gladly accept those conditions.
Secondly, the three of you will move somewhere far away.
Huh? What? You're telling me to move? That means I won't be able to see you anymore. And Dad's company doesn't have a relocation system, which means that Dad will have to quit his job as well.
This isn't my problem. If you don't like the conditions, then I'll file a complaint. You'll probably get a criminal record if you don't accept.
I don't want that.
Then you'll have to do what I say.
This is so unfair. All I wanted was to marry you and become the wife of a CEO. To think that my sister would steal that from me.
She didn't steal me from you. All you did was cause trouble on your own. You haven't even reached the starting point.
But we were in love.
No, we weren't. You were just being delusional this whole time. Well then, I doubt we'll ever meet again, but...
Wait, Ron! Think this through. I could be a much better wife than Claire could ever be.
Don't ever show yourself to me or Claire ever again.
Ron, please!
Goodbye. The wedding ceremony was successfully held thanks to the work of the staff. We turned in our marriage papers as well that day. We wrote Claire's aunt and her husband's names as our guarantors, since they had shown up to the wedding as Claire's parents. The alimony I asked for Miss Cross was also paid. Apparently, they got the money by selling their house that was already 80 years old. According to Claire, her former parents loved Pam so much that they probably spent a fortune on her and so couldn't save up for their retirement. For now, it seemed that they're going to live off Pam's father's retirement money. But it was revealed that her parents were actually in debt. Pam was forced to help in paying back the debt, and so she now works multiple part-time jobs nonstop. Apparently, one of these jobs is working at a brothel. Why am I not surprised? After all, she did get one of the male employees at the wedding to do what she said by selling him her body. Anyways, Pam was able to pay back their debt quicker than anyone would have guessed, since apparently her job at the brothel actually paid pretty well. She now spends every day more or less in the same manner, work a few hours during the day, and work a few more hours at night at the brothel. Apart from losing a few friends after the incident, things more or less seem to have worked out for her.
Liar, you disgust me. Get out of my sight. I don't want to see your face anymore.
Huh? What's this suddenly, Vivian? Did something happen? But today's a day to celebrate.
Shut up, liar. Go home. Don't come to my wedding today.
What? Hold on, Vivian. What do you mean go home? But I just got here with James and his family. Did something happen?
Don't act like you don't know, you fraud. You were lying this whole time, right?
What are you talking about? Just calm down, will you? I won't be able to understand you if you don't tell me what's happened first, daughter.
Stop pretending to be my father. You're not my actual father, right? I heard everything about it.
Well, it's true that I'm only your stepfather, but what do you mean you heard everything about it?
I know why you and Mom got married. You disgust me. To think that you were the kind of scum that would cheat. I don't want you to come to my wedding anymore.
What? What do you mean cheat? Me? I've never done such a thing in my life.
Don't act dumb with me. You cheated with Mom, right?
What? With Alexandra? What do you mean I cheated with my wife?
While me and my brother were living with our real father, you stole our mom away from Dad. That's when our real parents got divorced and Mom got custody of us and then married you.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Just because our real dad got sick and couldn't work anymore, Mom threw him aside and went with you instead. You two never even paid him an alimony. Disgusting.
Hold on. I have no idea what you're talking about. None of what you're saying is true.
I said don't act dumb with me. I already heard everything.
Who did you hear this from then?
My real dad, of course.
Huh?
My dad, who I'm actually related to by blood. He visited me around 2 months ago. He said he was looking for us all this time because you and Mom basically abducted us from him several years ago.
It's a lie. Don't believe what he says. What he's saying is impossible.
It's not a lie. Dad told me everything about it, and about how Mom cheated on him with you, and how you two abducted us from him, and about how hard life was for him after that. He's been wanting to meet us all this time. To think that you hid all of this up until now and pretended to be our father. You're trash.
Hold on, Vivian. Listen to what I have to say first. First of all, me and your mom didn't meet while she was married. We did nothing shameful like that.
You're still going to make excuses? My real dad told me he's been keeping this quiet because he didn't want to hurt me, but he said he couldn't stand anyone like you ruining my wedding. He told me all this really kindly back there. All you think about is yourself, right?
That's not true. Listen to me, please.
I don't want to listen to a word you say. I'm going to invite my real dad to the wedding, not you. Just leave, will you? I don't want to call a woman that would cheat on my mother anymore, and you're not even related to me in the first place. Not once did I consider you my father.
Oh, I see. Fine. I get it. I'll go home. I don't care what you call me anymore, but I won't forgive you for insulting your mother like that. I won't come to the wedding and go home. That's what you want, right?
I'm cutting ties with you, by the way. Don't show yourself to me ever again.
Hey Vivian, what are you thinking kicking Dad out like that? He tried to look calm, but he was clearly furious. I mean, I don't blame him for being mad. What do you mean Dad stole Mom from our previous dad? Are you really that dumb to believe such a thing?
You're going to say that as well? Open your eyes. We were being fooled by that fraud all these years.
You're the one who needs to open their eyes. Dad has supported us all these years, even after Mom died 15 years ago. He never even remarried. He did all that for us, even though we weren't his real children. But this random dude comes out of nowhere spreading lies? And you just believe what he says and call Dad a fraud? How ungrateful are you?
He's not lying. He knew things from when we were young. He's our real dad. Of course I'm going to believe him.
I, for one, am going to believe our dad who raised us for 15 years and not some random dude that came out of nowhere.
He probably only raised us because he had some sort of agenda of his own. Like, maybe he wanted us to look after him when he's old. That's the only reason he didn't leave us. He even looked at me sometimes with perverted eyes. It must have something to do with that as well.
You really are trash, huh? Fine, I get it now. I'll take care of Dad when he gets old. You go with this random guy of yours. I'll go with Dad to the station. Hold on, I think I'm going to go home as well. I don't want to have to sit with some stranger you invited. I have a wife and child, so I don't want to be involved in this shady business.
What? You're going home?
Why would I go to the wedding of a piece of trash like you?
Hold on. I asked your kids to be the ones to hand me the ring and the flowers.
I don't know. It's not my problem. You're not my sister anymore.
Huh? Why? Fine. I don't care anymore as well. I won't let you meet our dad anymore, even if you beg me. Hey, answer the phone! Help me! Come back to the wedding!
What is it? I'm already home. You're supposed to be at your wedding reception, right? Do you have the time to be contacting me like this?
There are bigger problems right now. I need help. This is an absolute mess.
Did something happen?
Dad drank some alcohol and is now having a rampage. He was fine during the wedding ceremony, but he suddenly started going on a rampage and breaking things once he got drunk at the reception. He's breaking chairs and tables. Some of the staff tried to stop him, but no one could get near him. He's even injured several people. Not only that, but Dad brought with him this random woman saying she was my grandmother. I don't know whether she's mentally ill or something, but she pooed her pants in the middle of the room. This is a mess.
I see. That does sound like a mess.
Why are you saying that as if you have nothing to do with it? It's really a mess over here. All of my friends and colleagues left already. My fiancé and his parents are asking me what's going on, but I don't know what's going on either.
What do you mean, as if I had nothing to do with it? You cut ties with me, right? And so now I'm a stranger who has nothing to do with it.
What?
You told me that yourself, right? That I'm not your father?
Yeah, I did say that, but shouldn't you still help me at times like this?
Well, that seems awfully convenient. Do something about these relatives of yours yourself. I'm pretty sure that man isn't your dad, though. But he is your relative.
What?
You were too young at the time to remember, but you and James's real father died more than 20 years ago.
Huh? What do you mean?
James was 6 years old, and you were 2 years old at the time, I think. I heard from Alexandra that he died from a car accident. I visited his grave once before I married your mom, too. He's dead, without a doubt.
What? What are you talking about? There's no way what you're saying is true. Then who are those people that are making a mess at my wedding?
I had guessed as to who he might be prior, but I'm sure of it now. I think he's your real dad's brother and mother, which means that they're your uncle and grandmother. To think that he would call himself your father after what happened. What a heartless man.
Which means he's not actually my dad? What do you mean after what happened? What happened?
That man tried to marry Alexandra right after your father died. He was trying to get his hands on your father's inheritance. He didn't listen to what Alexandra said and even divorced his own wife at the time. Apparently, he even bought a sports car thinking he would be able to get your dad's inheritance. It's unbelievable, right? That money was supposed to be spent on you, James, and Alexandra's future.
No way. I can't believe this. He bought a sports car?
Alexandra and you children were able to get away thanks to the help of the wife he divorced, but he followed you for years after that. I heard that you guys had to move 2 times since he kept following you guys. Alexandra says she wasn't even able to visit her late husband's grave, and in the panic, even lost your dad's picture. She said those were tough times.
But
Well, that's it. The man who's currently making a mess at your wedding is not your father, but your uncle, who your mother cut ties with. He didn't even marry Alexandra, but still he calls himself your father. I guess he intends on following you instead now. Your fiancé is the head of a university hospital, right? Getting rid of him is probably going to be really difficult.
Huh? What do you mean?
I'm only guessing, but the 2 of them have a huge amount of debt. The loan he took for his sports car is still unpaid probably, and it seems he doesn't make much money either. Not only that, but his mother has Alzheimer's. Either he barely gets by, or he's already collapsed from the pressure. That's why he came to you and your husband, because he intends on making you pay for his debt. He'll probably be even more hard to get rid of this time since he won't let go of an opportunity like this when your husband is rich. He's careless with how he spends his money, so he's probably going to give you 2 a hard time. Make sure not to let your guard down around him.
Huh? Hold on. This can't be true. There's no way we can take care of the 2 of them. He's not even my real father.
But aren't you the one who believed what he said and allowed him to come to your wedding? You wouldn't even listen to a word I said, right? Whether you're going to take care of him or run away is your responsibility.
That's impossible. We can't run away now. I already told him where my fiancé's parents live, and he even knows the address of our new house. What should I do? Help me, Dad.
You said that I wasn't your dad, right? You said I was a fraud, and to never show myself in front of you again.
No, that was...
I mean, I'm not even related to you by blood. I'm a stranger to you, just like you said. So what if this man isn't actually your dad? He's your uncle, related to you by blood. Why not treat him like he was actually your father?
No, I don't want that. Please, Dad, help me. I was fooled as well. I didn't know that that's who he was. Help me, Dad. Do something about this.
Vivian, I raised you as if you were my real daughter. That was what I had told myself I would do when I married Alexandra, to treat you 2 like I was your real dad. But I'm only human as well. There's no way I wouldn't get mad or sad when the daughter I had raised up until now suddenly denies everything that I had done for her. And not only that, but insults my wife, her own mother, that I still love. Do you really think that I'm going to help you now just because you told me to? When you haven't even apologized?
That's not what I meant. I'm sorry, Dad. I made a misunderstanding. I was wrong. So forgive me.
It's not something that can just be forgiven like that. Sorry, but you're on your own. I don't want to have anything to do with those people as well. Even if I were to go straight to your wedding, I wouldn't be of much help anyways.
But...
If you ever have trouble shaking off those people, it's fine if you get me involved, but no matter what you do, don't involve your brother and his family. He has young children.
Hold on, Dad. Don't leave me.
That's up to you. Congratulations on your wedding. I'd be glad if you found happiness. After that, Vivian's uncle, who was rampaging in the wedding venue, was subdued by security. Both him and his mother were taken away by the police. Vivian deeply regretted making a mess of her own wedding and apologized to her fiancé and his family, and said that she would delay them getting married until she sorts out her business with her uncle. That, or she would pay an alimony and cancel the marriage. The groom's parents wanted to cancel the marriage, but thanks to Vivian's kind-hearted fiancé, it was decided to only postpone the marriage. I'll skip the details, but after that, Vivian's uncle was tried at court. Apparently, he was guilty on countless other crimes as well, and was sent to prison. His mother was sent to a facility for elderly people, and Vivian never saw her again. Vivian and her fiancé came to me and apologized for what Vivian had done. She said it was fine if I wanted to cut ties with her if I couldn't forgive her for what she had done. But I also felt slightly guilty for not telling her about her uncle earlier, and decided to forgive her if she apologized to her mother at the grave as well. Vivian paid for the wedding all on her own, and even canceled their honeymoon. But after overcoming several hardships, the two got married half a year later. She made up with her brother James as well, and she hosted a dinner party with us as a way of making up for her ruined marriage ceremony. It seems they still have a lot of things to take care of. I'm glad to see that the two are happy. I'm sure Alexandra and her late husband are also watching from heaven and are glad their children found happiness. After all that, I went back to my peaceful old life of going to work and occasionally playing with my grandchildren who come to visit. My children have already grown up, and I have no intention of remarrying. I think I'm going to save up for my retirement and also maybe get better at my hobby, open sea fishing.
Sam, would you please stop asking my husband to withdraw such a large amount of money?
Good evening, Kumi. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Large amount of money?
It's really no use pretending you don't know. I already know what you've been up to these days. You and your mother are taking way too much advantage of my husband. Well, I guess that my husband felt obligated to comply to your request as well, so I guess it can't be helped this time. But from now on, please refrain from doing that ever again.
Well, I still have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't think it's something that I have to explain to you, word for word. Just put a hand on your heart and take your time to think over what you've done. Think very carefully about living your life by sucking money out of my husband. Consider the shameful way of living in that way. Excuse me then.
Josh, I just arrived. Oh, hi, brother. I'm glad you and Mom got back into the country safely. You're coming back the day after, right? That's right. The medical conference in Germany will finish tomorrow, so I'll head home when that's over. But to think that you let us accompany you for your medical conference so that we could enjoy sightseeing. When I first heard about it, I was so surprised. We had promised to take a trip together, but I didn't imagine us making an overseas travel. I wasn't able to fulfill our promise since I've been busy, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to do that. I couldn't spend as much as I would have liked, though, with you and Mom since I had to work. But there was a travel guide who spoke Japanese, right? Did things work out okay? Oh, that was so helpful. Both Mom and I couldn't speak German at all. Although it was the first time going overseas, I didn't feel so anxious and really enjoyed the time there. Thanks to you. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, I just remembered. When you are back in the country, could we get together? Yeah, of course. Is something up? There's something I want to talk about. About Kumi. About Kumi? Oh, is it something you mentioned earlier? Yeah, recently things have been getting worse. It also seems like she's been troubling you as well. Also, the matter I had asked someone to look into, that's been confirmed as well. I see. I'm sorry to trouble you when you must be tired from the trip. No worries. Then I should get prepared for the conferences tomorrow, so I'll message you again later. All right. Thanks so much for the trip.
Sam, aren't you and your mother really not embarrassed at all to be leading parasitic lives on your younger brother's money? Why don't you at least use your own money for the trip to Germany?
What? Oh, it's been a long time, Kumi. What do you mean by leading parasitical lives?
Do I have to explain everything to you? I know that Josh is a doctor and has a pretty good sum of money, but aren't you ashamed that you're using your brother's money to go overseas? Especially now that your brother has his own family? Don't you have any pride as his older brother? Or so he says.
Is that what you were referring to the other day?
Did you realize that just now? I am so shocked.
Well, as we had no intention of asking for his money.
But my husband paid for everything this time, didn't he?
That is true, but that was a promise we had made between Josh and I since a long time ago.
Oh my God, that is just unbelievable. You're telling me that you planned to get money out of him even before your brother was a doctor? I know that he already showed much promise for his career, but isn't that a bit too much?
No, that's not quite right.
Then what is it?
It's a little difficult for me to explain. When our father passed away, I was a senior in high school, and Josh was still in junior high. Because of our circumstances, I didn't go to college and started working right away after I graduated from high school. At that point, Josh already had a dream of becoming a doctor, so my mother and I decided that we would support him as much as we could.
Oh, so what you're saying is, because you supported him back then, you want him to help you out now that he's become a doctor. Basically, you want him to pay you back now. That's the promise you made, right?
No, that isn't how it is. I usually make sure that Josh doesn't spend his money for us. As for the trip to Germany the other day, it is true that Josh paid for our trip, but this is something that Josh had been saying he wanted to when he was able to graduate from medical school, and he did graduate. So that's how the trip finally happened. So this time, It was something special for all of us.
Well, however you frame it, it still doesn't change the fact that you let Josh pay for all your travel expenses. And also when you rebuild your house into an apartment.
What? That has nothing to do with Josh.
Really, these are the instances when one can see how stingy poor people can be. Please refrain from coercing Josh to give you money from now on. Never, ever again. Actually, never contact him again.
What? That is a bit too much.
Josh is my husband. I am the only one who can spend his money freely because I am his wife. If something like this ever happens again, I will not forgive you.
Kumi, I am getting a divorce.
What?
I'm getting a divorce from you.
Josh, what are you saying? Is this something to say over a message? What is going on here? I have no idea why you're saying such a thing.
And will you still not understand if I tell you that I am with my brother now?
What? With Sam? You told me it was your day off and you turned down my suggestion that we go out together.
That was so that I could see my brother.
Can it be that your brother is asking for your money again?
What?
This is enough. I warned him never to take money from you ever again. To think that he would have the nerve to meet up with you to ask for more money? Josh, don't you think you've had enough with a brother who is so poor and miserable?
What are you talking about?
There is also that matter regarding the trip you took with your brother and your mother to Germany. Also, a few months ago, they rebuilt their house into an apartment building, remember? Then they moved into one of the rooms in their apartment building and your brother became the owner and your mother is living with him, right?
Oh, that's right. What about it, though?
What do you mean, what about it, though? Your brother ordered you to pay for that money to rebuild that house into an apartment building, didn't he?
What?
Listen, I would understand if you became the owner of that apartment building since you gave out the money for it and you let your brother and your mother live there. That would be fine. But the owner of that building is your brother. That means that the income from the apartment rent goes straight into your brother's pocket. That is absolutely nuts.
Kumi, what are you talking about? The money spent on rebuilding that house into an apartment building was paid out by my brother.
What?
I gave them just $500 as a gift. How on earth did you arrive at such a misunderstanding?
What? Well, since your father died, your mother only worked part-time and is now living on her pension. As for your brother, he quit his company a few years ago and he's living off your mother's pension, right? How could those two possibly pay for rebuilding a house? The only relative who could provide them the money would be you, since you earn enough money as a doctor.
My brother is making as much money as I am now. While he was working at his company, he had a side job. Now that he can earn a good-sized income from that side job, he decided to quit his company and concentrate on his side job, which means that he can work from home. You also have someone you know who works from home, right? Even though you knew someone who works from home, you automatically assumed that since my brother is spending most of his time at home, that he doesn't have a job. What you say is unacceptable. How absolutely thoughtless of you.
But your brother only graduated from high school, right? And the company he worked for was a very small-sized firm, no? How could someone like that manage to earn enough money as someone who works from home?
If there is something you're really good at doing and you can make it into a business, it's possible, depending on how hard you work for it. It would depend on the type of job, of course. Maybe one needs to get a license or a special training. As for my brother, he worked hard for it and made it work.
Then why didn't you tell me all of this before? You didn't tell me anything about the apartment building. You can't blame me for misunderstanding.
Listen, as for the plan to rebuild our house into an apartment building, that started way before we even started dating. As for the kind of work my brother is doing, I did mention it to you before.
What?
As for the trip to Germany the other day, I wanted to pay my brother and mother back for all the support they gave me when I was pursuing my dream of becoming a doctor. It's something that I offered them.
Well, support. Still, just because they helped you out a little bit over living expenses, paying for all the expenses for an overseas trip is too much.
My brother paid for 2/3 of my high school and medical school tuition.
What?
And 1/3 was from the insurance my father had for our education fee. But then my father died suddenly. My brother supported my mother, who was completely distraught. On top of that, he looked after me since I was a junior high school student at the time. And my brother was only 18 years old at the time. Just imagine what pressure he had at that time. To be honest, I don't think that taking him and Mom for an overseas trip is not enough at all.
What? Are you still planning to give them money?
That is why I'm getting a divorce from you.
What?
You don't like it that I want to pay back my brother and my mother, right? But this is not so much that we have to lower our way of living.
What? But the trip to Germany? It's an overseas trip, so it's not just a matter of 500 or 1,000, right?
For that, I used the money that I had been saving up when I was still single. This is not something I should be blamed for at all.
But...
What is it with you, Kumi?
What? Me?
Do you think that I didn't notice anything?
What are you talking about?
The credit card that I gave you so that you can spend for our living expenses. You've used it to its maximum. Do you think I will continue to allow you to misuse the credit card like that?
But you told me you would let me be in charge of the household expenses.
I did tell you that I would ask you to handle our household expenses, but that did not mean that you could use the money freely. Let me tell you more. You think that I would tolerate you using the amount equal to my monthly income on your lover? Think again.
What?
Did you really think that I wouldn't notice anything? I can also see the credit card purchase history, you know. Things looked fishy, so I looked into it.
You were looking at the bill?
That is the so-called family credit card, so it's natural that I can also see the bill. To begin with, that money is withdrawn from my bank account, so if I didn't notice anything, that would be really funny, wouldn't it?
Oh, God.
Anyway, I hired a detective to find out if you really had a lover. I now have proof of it, so you can't deny it. I also can't forgive you for all the insults you said regarding my brother and Mom. I'm divorcing you.
Wait.
What for?
What?
If you were telling me to wait on the divorce, I can't oblige.
Maybe we can talk over this.
As for that, we can do that through my lawyer.
A lawyer?
The contract for the apartment we are living in now is scheduled to be renewed in 2 months, so I decided not to renew it this time.
What?
I still have some things left in the apartment, so I will go back once. After I pack everything, I will be gone for good. I want you to get yourself out of the apartment as soon as possible.
What? Wait.
What do you mean, wait?
What? Well, that is...
If it has no meaning, it's just annoying.
Josh,
Please talk to my lawyer. Goodbye. A few hours after we exchanged messages, I headed over to my younger brother's place to move his things out. My brother's wife, Kumi, was not there. Well, it was good timing. I managed to get all of my brother's things out in that short amount of time. As for Kumi, it seems like she ran to her lover's place for help, and my brother has confirmed that fact. Her things had been sent, cash on delivery, and the lawyer also paid her a visit. A month later, everything was settled and the divorce was finalized. As for Kumi and her lover, they had to pay for the consolation money plus all the money they had spent together. It was a one-time payment. The amount came to $70,000. They had to take out a loan, but they couldn't ask for help from the relatives, so they got themselves into a fix. Now, they are living days of regret and hard work.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Christy, are you there? Did the wedding invite arrive yet? You didn't get back to me on whether you'd be coming or not, so I had no choice but to message you. Huh? What the... Listen to me, Mel. I already made it perfectly clear I had no intention of coming from the get-go, didn't I? Why would you go out of your way to send an invite when you already knew what the answer was? Wow, what am I even reading? This is your own brother's wedding we're talking about here. Of course you're coming. What about your duty to your family? But with the both of your parents having passed away, you'd be the only member of Kyle's family there. Are you really going to let him be all on his own like this? Don't you feel bad for your little brother? I don't need to be lectured about not coming to the wedding by the person who made me want to not come to the wedding in the first place. Besides, Kyle won't be on his own. He'll have you, your family, and his friends there with him. Huh? How did I make you not want to come to the wedding? What are you even talking about? Did you really think I didn't know? Oh, I know what this is about. Being a high school dropout really bothers you, doesn't it, Kirsty? Huh? It's fine, babe. You don't need to worry about that. It's a triviality. Anyway, we don't need you to have brains. Me and Kyle graduated university with flying colors after all, so we've got the intellect and achievement bases covered. Most of my family graduated university too. I totally get why you might feel ashamed and embarrassed about being a high school dropout, but honestly, you don't need to. We're not judging you for it, I promise. We're open-minded and accept people from all walks of life and backgrounds. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, that settles it. I'll put you down on the attending list. You can put me on whatever list you like. The bottom line is I'm not coming, and that's final. Yeah, whatever. Quit fooling me around already, Kirsty. You're obviously going to be there to support your little brother. Wow, you seriously don't get it, do you? Have you even realized why I don't want to come in the first place, or did it go straight over your head? Or are you doing this on purpose to tick me off? Yeah, whatever. Ugh, would you quit being so immature already? Anyway, you can say whatever you like. I'm not coming, and that's that. I amaze myself with how clever I am sometimes. It's no surprise I graduated university with brains like these. What are you talking about? I successfully switched jobs to something with better prospects and better pay. You switched jobs? Let's just say some things happened at my old job and I had to quit. I knew me and Kyle would be moving to a different town after the wedding anyway, so I figured I'd use me leaving the old place to find something more local with a more convenient commute. And guess what? A major global company just made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I'm the best. I doubt a high school dropout like you could ever accomplish anything like this. Wow, really? You actually got an offer that fast? You have no idea how hectic it was to find time to fit the interview in with the preparations for the wedding. I felt like I was barely getting time to eat, but boy, am I glad I went. I take it you changed your plans to become a full-time stay-at-home housewife then. Huh? I heard about you bragging to everyone about how you were going to quit your job when you got married because my brother Kyle's filthy rich due to being a top executive at one of America's most prestigious donut companies. That was... Oh, it's fine, Mel. You don't have to try and hide it or make excuses. I already know the reason. Huh? Anyway, I need to head back to work now, so... yeah, bye. I'm not sure I like your tone, Kirsty. This isn't over. Oh, and before I go, I know you can be slow and forgetful what with being a high school dropout and all, so allow me to remind you one more time. You're absolutely, positively, definitely, incontrovertibly, without a shadow of a doubt, coming to our wedding next month. And don't you forget it. It's gonna be a blast, and we wouldn't dream of celebrating without you there to share in our joy. Sis? Hello? The wedding's about to start, you know. Hurry up and get your ass down here. What are you talking about? Like I need to spell it out. Mine and Kyle's wedding is about to start, doofus. Oh, was that today? What? Of course it's today, and you know it. Quit playing dumb. I know you left the house wearing your best clothes this morning, so don't even try to hide it. That reminds me, I heard you moved into one of those apartments that was for sale in my neighborhood. I'm guessing that's how you appear to have been tracking my whereabouts. Jeez, you know, Mel, I was hoping you'd move as far away from me as humanly possible so I'd never have to deal with you again. But you had to go and move in practically next door to me, huh? Hey, wait a sec. No way. Did you get the wedding venue wrong? Huh? The wedding venue. Do you actually know where it is? We're doing it with a company called Matrimonial Magic Makers at their main wedding hall on 5th Street. Matrimonial Magic Makers? Oh, wow, I see. I'm guessing from your response. I knew it. Did you mix up the venue for your own brother's wedding? I guess it can't be helped. I should have written the invite in crayon so even a high school dropout like you could understand it. I'm pretty sure I already made this clear, but I had no intention of coming to the wedding to begin with, so there was no need for me to check where it was being held. Huh? I never planned on coming, so why would I waste my time? Waste your time? Mine and your brother's wedding is not a waste of time. I didn't bother to look at the date either. I'm at work today and I have a bunch of meetings with several important clients. That's the only reason I'm dressed especially smartly. Gotta make sure I leave a good impression, you know? Oh my God, are you serious? Hang on a sec, were you trying to pull a trick on me by intentionally writing the wrong wedding venue on my invite so I'd show up at the wrong place? You wouldn't do something so childish, would you, Mel? No way! I hit the nail on the head, huh? But now that I think about it, if you're getting married today, I take it you'll be absent from the new employee training session today then? What the hell? Today was supposed to be your first day at your new job, wasn't it? We generally train up new employees for the week before they officially start. But since you got hired outside of our usual hiring season, the plan was to train you up officially starting from your first day, today. You were made aware of the schedule over text and email, Mel. There was no reason you couldn't have let us know you wouldn't be able to make it. But it's a Sunday today! Well, the industry we work in isn't as subject to the weekday-weekend cycle as most others, which means a good chunk of our departments run just like normal on Sundays. What? It just so happens that your department is one of the many that work weekends. This, in combination with the fact that you were made aware you were supposed to be here, means there's no excuse for your absence. My coworker, the guy in charge of providing the newbie training, just sent me a message. The training course for our midterm recruitment newbies starts today. Can you believe one of them didn't show up on her very first day? Geez, Kirsty, where do we find these people? I won't send what came after that, but needless to say, he is furious. I think I did get some kind of training schedule over mail. Wait, are you telling me that was actually the schedule? I thought the part where it said I was in today was a mistake. If you thought it was a mistake, why didn't you make an inquiry? Surely that would have been the reasonable thing to do in this situation. 'Cause who the hell works on a Sunday? I figured it must have meant Monday, so I just ignored it. I was ready to come in tomorrow. Would you mind bearing with me for a little while, Mel? Thanks. I just checked with my coworker, and it turns out your shift today most definitely wasn't a data entry mistake. Huh? How the hell would you know that? Because my boss received a copy of the same training schedule that was sent out to all the newbies, and he just showed it to me. Huh? There are about half a dozen newbies starting today, and a few of them are going to be assigned to my department, which means my boss has access to all of the relevant materials. Wait, what the... Hang on a sec. Your boss? I thought you seemed weirdly knowledgeable about the inner workings of the company. Hang on, are you... Yep, bingo. I take it the penny finally dropped then? I work as a full-time employee at the company you received a provisional offer at. Oh my god, are you serious? Don't get me wrong, I have absolutely nothing to do with HR. Which means I was astonished when I found out my little brother's soon-to-be wife just got assigned to my department. Anyway, we'll have to get this situation sorted out soon. What's it gonna be, Mel? What do you mean? Whether you go through with your wedding is, of course, entirely up to you, but you should know it'll mean going down on the system as an absence without notification on your first day of work, no less. Basically, it's going to mean you failed to attend the first day of your mandatory employee training course without good reason, and since the offer you received was provisional, is all but guaranteed to mean your chances of getting a full-time contract are pretty much zero. I won't fall for this. I know you're trying to trick me. Excuse me? Trick you? It's so obvious. I can read you like a book. This is clearly nothing but a huge crock of bullshit you cooked up in desperation to avoid the shame and embarrassment of admitting you got the venue for your own brother's wedding wrong. This is why you can't trust a high school dropout with anything. Oh, you're free to interpret this whole situation like that if it makes you feel better, but I think you're aware of how ridiculous the situation that I'd make something like this up is, Mel. No, it makes perfect sense. Anyway, this is your fault for not giving mine and your brother's wedding your blessing in the first place. If you would have just fulfilled your goddamn duty as his sister to begin with, none of this would be happening. How exactly do you work that one out? Your wedding and today's newbie training have nothing to do with each other. Even if I had gone to the wedding, you would have still been expected to be in today as long as you didn't inquire about your misunderstanding over which day it was on. So why won't you come to the wedding? You're the only family Kyle has left now that your parents are dead. Are you really gonna make me explain it to you? Yes, because none of this makes any frickin' sense. For real. Like, are you being serious right now? Whatever. You know what? It seems like you genuinely don't understand. Fine, it can't be helped. my brother Kyle was originally engaged to Michaela, your older sister, right? But you stole him from her by having an affair with him behind her back. So what? What's your point? Me and Kyle love each other, and that's all that matters. Who are you to try and stand in our way by dragging up the past like this? I'm not holding the fact you and my brother developed feelings for each other against you. It was the letting it develop into a full-blown affair while he was still engaged part that was despicable. Any decent human being would have waited until he'd broken off the engagement, or simply let go if he wasn't willing to. Huh? Naturally, I think you're despicable after demonstrating your absolute lack of virtue and moral fiber by tempting my brother into having an affair with you when you knew full well he was engaged to your sister. But I am also disgusted with my brother for meeting you halfway. If he has half a spine or a modicum of decency in him, he would have told you where to stick your seedy solicitations faster than you could say seedy two-bit whore. Which is why I was obviously never going to show up to the wedding, and to be honest, why I never want anything to do with either of you again for as long as I live. Besides, I already said all of this to Kyle. He knows I despise him and was never under any illusion I'd be at the wedding. So it genuinely baffles me that you didn't seem to get the message. Huh? You see, Kyle and I lost our parents in a traffic accident when I was still in high school. He was still in elementary school at the time, so I had no choice but to drop out so I could take care of him. I gave my everything to give him the best shot I possibly could at making something of his life. And how did he repay me? By coldly betraying your sister, one of the loveliest, most kind-hearted people I know, in the cruelest, most hurtful way possible. Huh? Anyway, Mel, it's time to make a decision. What's it going to be? Shall we go with an unpermitted absence from your first day at work and the beginning of your training course? Hello? Are you there? Why isn't there anybody here? Huh? I was messaging you in the bride's waiting room this whole time. I could hear some noise coming from the main hall around 20 minutes ago, but it was distracting me from our conversation, so I just locked the door and carried on talking to you. But I just got a message from Kyle saying nobody showed up to the wedding. Forget my friends, even my family and relatives didn't bother showing up. Where is everyone? Oh, I see. I wondered why you suddenly stopped replying. How would I know why no one showed up at your wedding? I didn't even know where it was being held or which day it was on, remember? But this makes no sense. There were supposed to be at least 30 people coming. And did you receive return letters confirming their attendance after sending out invites to all 30 of them? Of course I did. Like I'd forget something so simple. What the hell do you take me for? I see. Well, in that case, and this is just speculation, but is it possible they all agreed to cancel at the last minute behind your back? What? Why the heck would they do something like that? That's crazy! I won't say exactly who I heard this from. Let's just say it was a friend's brother's dog. But the word on the street is that you've always had a habit of stealing other women's boyfriends, and that you're not exactly the most popular girl in town, even among the people you call friends. Apparently everyone's been pretty cold towards Kyle since word got out he cheated on your sister with... Listen, Mel, I didn't come up with this. I'm just passing on the message, but apparently their nickname for you is the Town Whore. Oh my god, that's my nickname? And none of them showed up to my wedding? Ugh, this can't be happening. So yeah, I'm just speculating, but based on what I've heard, I'd say that's a pretty likely explanation for your current situation, wouldn't you? But I could always be wrong. There are other possibilities. So you really should get some confirmation before you go off and do anything rash. Oh my god, does everyone really hate me that much? This can't be happening. I was supposed to have a fairy tale wedding. About an hour after our last message, a woman in a wedding dress barged past security and sprinted up the stairs to our office as if she was possessed by some kind of demonic spirit. Needless to say, the police were called. The sight of Mel yelling, "I'm here for my training!" at the top of her lungs while being restrained by the slightly embarrassed security guard she blitzed past like a whirlwind only a minute before was one I'll never forget. It turned out my theory about the wedding guests plotting to cancel on Mel and my brother at the last minute was right on the mark. Apparently realizing they were no longer going to get any wedding gifts, they canceled the wedding and incurred a massive same-day cancellation fee. That, in combination with the compensation they both already owed Mel's older sister for the affair, must have been why Mel was so desperate not to lose her new job. She was so desperate, in fact, that she completely forgot to get changed and showed up at the office flailing around like an escaped mental patient in a wedding dress. Naturally, everyone at the company was mortified by the bizarre spectacle unfolding before their eyes, and she was fired right then and there. As for Kyle, he quit the same week, unable to bear now being the butt of every joke and the subject of every hushed conversation in the cafeteria. Last I hear, Mel and Kyle are currently spending their days in a cheap cockroach-infested apartment in the rough part of town while working like dogs to pay off their exorbitant debts.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Yo, Vicky! Today's the day my work transfer finally ends. It's gonna suck so bad leaving you behind here. I never expected to meet anyone while I was out here, let alone us ending up pretty much living together. Life can surprise you like that sometimes, huh?
Tyrone, I'm gonna be lonely without you too, baby. Do you really have to go back to live with your wife? I know she's waiting for you, but I'd rather keep you all to myself.
Unfortunately, babe, yes I do. My boss told me I'd only be staying here for a year, and they want me back at HQ tomorrow, so there really ain't much I can do about it.
I see. I doubt we'll be able to see each other much once you go home. We will still be able to see each other sometimes, won't we, sweetie pie?
Listen, babe, it sucks for me too, but to tell you the absolute truth, I honestly don't know. If my work transfer ended up getting extended, my wife said she planned on selling the house in Wyoming and moving up here to live with me.
I see. Well, that reminds me, didn't you say your wife is a pharmacist? This is just a hunch, but I bet she wouldn't have to look very hard to find a job up here. The thing is, if she came here, we really would never be able to see each other. We'd constantly be tiptoeing around, worried about being found out.
Right, that's why I think it's best I just go home and carry on playing happy families just like normal. At least for the time being. Don't get me wrong, babe, it completely sucks that we're not going to be able to see each other, but we need to think carefully about how we play this and not do anything rash.
You're right. I can't argue with that.
Don't worry, Vicky. My heart's set on you and ain't nothing gonna change that. I know it's not gonna be easy for us to be apart, but I want you to believe in me. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can. I'm waiting for you, Tyrone. Hi, Tyrone. Are you there? You're supposed to be getting back soon, right? Did your train leave on time?
Oh, it's you. Hi, Sarah. Yeah, I'm on the train as we speak. There were some delays early on. Apparently some suicidal lunatic jumped out onto the tracks and, well, yeah. Also, I'm gonna stop off at Company HQ to see Chris and the boss before heading home.
Damn, that's gruesome. I always wonder why suicidal folk do that. Like, could they not do it somewhere that doesn't mess with everyone's schedules and traumatize the train driver? All right, no problem. I can't believe the day has finally come. You were up in Michigan a whole year. How crazy is that? I know we've been doing lots of video calls, but is it weird I feel kind of nervous about seeing you again? I thought you'd at least come back for birthdays and Christmas, but I guess that turned out to be a little difficult for you.
You're really gonna drag this up again? What's your point?
I'm not trying to drag anything up. I guess it just hit me how busy you actually were when you decided not to come back for special occasions like you said you would. You were even too worn out for me to fly over to you, even though I would have been happy to. You specifically told me not to come because you weren't feeling up to it, right? You really must have been seriously busy this last year. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I find your work ethic really admirable, Tyrone.
Yeah, I guess I have been busy. Thanks.
Okay, well, be careful on the way home, sweetie. I'll see you soon. Tyrone, my delightful, precious sugar dumpling. I can't take the loneliness. I need you here in my arms.
Vicky, my sweet treacle muffin, my sugary pumpkin pie, my darling angel, my dearest love. The ache of loneliness weighs upon my heart like 1,000 burdensome clouds, casting shadows upon the tender garden of my soul. If only I knew how good we had it when I was up there for my work transfer. Who would have thought having a home to go back to could feel so painful and lonely? I might be in this house with my wife, but you're the only one that's on my mind.
Tyrone, that's it. I've made my decision.
What decision?
I'm gonna move to Wyoming so I can be close to you.
You're gonna do what now?
Don't worry. Of course I'll choose where I move wisely so as not to arouse any suspicion from your wife. I just want to be near you, baby. That's all. I know this might sound sudden, but actually, it's been on my mind for a little while. I promise I'll take in your opinion and do it as cautiously as possible. Luckily, I work from home as a freelancer. I figure what's the point in having such a flexible job if I'm not going to use it to be with the most special man in the whole wide world?
Vicky, you do that? For me?
I'd walk to the ends of the earth and back for you, my snugglebug cupcake. I love you.
I love you, my cuddle bunny boo.
Hey, Tyrone. Turns out I'm going to be doing a spot of overtime today. Sorry, but I'm not going to be able to make your supper. There are some leftover cheesy potatoes in the fridge, or you could make something yourself. Or maybe even get takeout if you're not feeling up to it. Hey, what's with you? I can see you read my messages. You could at least say okay or react in some way. Why are you ignoring me? You've always had a tendency to ignore me when you get in a mood about something. Sometimes you even ignore me for 1 or 2 days at a time. Hasn't it been going on a little too long this time? You've been ignoring me ever since you got back from Michigan. It's been a whole month now. Like, are you seriously doing this? You are aware of what you're doing, right? I know there's no way you're not. I haven't heard a single word out of you since you walked through the front door. Not even a, honey, I'm home. Not to mention completely blanking my messages. I have absolutely no idea what I've done to upset you this time. If I've done something wrong, then tell me and let's talk it through. It's not like I'm not willing to admit fault if I did something, but it's impossible for me to know if you don't say anything. Can't you at least explain what's wrong?
Aha, my strategy's working.
Ooh, what strategy? Tell me.
My strategy to mentally and emotionally exhaust my wife by flat out ignoring her. The plan is to drive her to the breaking point until she gets so sick of it all, she divorces me.
You are absolutely devilish, Tyrone. The things we do for love. It sounds like it's going well.
Yep, everything is going according to plan. It looks like the soul-crushing sense of guilt is already starting to torment her.
Good. That's what she gets for stealing my man from me. I don't think we're doing anything bad. Our happiness is what comes first, after all, right?
If we're gonna frame it in terms of right and wrong, my wife's definitely the one in the wrong for not divorcing me earlier and forcing me to resort to strategies to make her hurry up and take the hint. When you think about it, she's kind of like the final boss in the way of our love.
You're right.
It's going to take a little bit longer to get rid of her for good, but this is where our patience counts more than ever. The finish line's in sight, baby, so let's play this as safe as we possibly can.
Sure thing, baby. You're my heartthrob, and I'd do anything for you. Oh, that reminds me. It looks like I'm going to be able to move over to Wyoming at the beginning of next month.
Ah, nice. You work fast.
Well, I don't know about that. It did take me a whole month to decide on the place, but I figured since me and you are gonna end up living together there soon enough, I had to make sure it was nice. Want to know a little secret? I ordered us the biggest, most luxurious double bed money can buy. I can't wait for you to ravage me on it, stud muffin.
Stop it, babe. You're gonna get me all excited. I'm gonna make sweet, tender love to you like you've never been loved before when I finally see you again, my sexy little munchkin.
Calm down, stallion. It's still too early.
I can't take it anymore. Are you free to meet up this weekend?
Huh?
I'll be going into work on my day off this Saturday. I have a meeting with a customer a little out of town, which means I'll be driving for a while. How about me and you arrange a little rendezvous while I'm at it? By my calculations, I'll have 2 hours before I need to get back. What do you say, Vicky? How about a little secret encounter?
Oh my, Tyrone, you're terrible. Say no more. I'll be waiting for you, Daddy. Tyrone, will you be late home again today? You know what, I don't even know why I bother asking. You're clearly just gonna keep ignoring me. I did hear you were expecting a lot of overtime for the first month or two after you got back from your work transfer in Michigan, but I hardly even see you at home these days. I don't know if it's because you're intentionally coming home after you know I'll be asleep to avoid me, but this isn't normal. I barely ever see you. You flat out blank me on the rare occasion that I do, and you completely ignore all of my messages. If you hate me that much, how about you say it to my face instead of escaping like a spineless little weasel? I am beyond sick of this, Tyrone. I won't put up with it for much longer. I have some things to take care of at my mom and dad's place, so I'll be staying there tonight. Goodbye.
Hey there, my cuddly little cupcake.
Hey, Tyrone. You finished with your overtime now?
Yep, all done. I'm on my way to you as we speak.
I just finished work, too.
Oh, by the way, do you mind if I stay over at your place tonight?
Don't be silly, baby. You know you're always welcome here. But what about your wife?
She said something about staying over at her parents' place tonight, so she won't be around at the house to know I'm not home.
Wow, really?
That's why you're all mine tonight. I hope you're ready, 'cause you're barely gonna be able to walk by the time I'm done with ya, pumpkin pie.
Oh, baby, that's music to my ears. I'm gonna jump in the shower. I'll be waiting on the bed for you in my special bunny lingerie when you get here, my rugged love muffin.
I'm sprinting over to your place so fast they're gonna start calling me Usain Bolt.
So her name is Vicky, is it? A freelance manga translator on a middling income. You met her when you were living in Michigan for work. She was your next-door neighbor in the apartment block your company had you stay in. Apparently you were pretty much living together by the time you had to come back here. And now, apparently unaware to bear being apart from you, Vicky moved here to Wyoming in a little apartment near Bakewell Station, which is where your trysts now exclusively take place, including the one you're having right now.
Huh? Wait a sec, what the?
The reason you've been flat out ignoring me for so long was because it was a strategy to push me to my emotional breaking point until I got so exhausted with it all, I felt like I had no choice but to divorce you. That's what you're waiting for, isn't it? I think that just about summarizes the situation, right? Did I miss anything?
Sarah?
I guess you were trying to avoid having to pay me compensation?
I ain't got no heckin' idea what you're talking about. Sure, I think maybe I do remember there being a Vicky next door back in Michigan, but we didn't have anything to do with each other beyond being neighbors, and we sure as hell don't see each other now.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I forgot to tell you this, what with being constantly ignored all the time, but I got transferred to the pharmacy by Bakewell Station about a month ago.
Huh?
It turns out I can see the road that leads to Vicky's apartment through the front window.
You can?
When I first saw you together, I thought maybe she was one of your clients because I know you often do the rounds away from the office, but by the third or fourth sighting, I knew something fishy was going on. Then one day, when my mind was full of doubts, I saw the two of you walking by just as I was getting off work, so I decided to go ninja mode and follow you.
You followed us?
That was when I saw you going into her apartment together. I don't think I've ever seen you go inside a front door that fast in my life. Looking forward to something, were you?
That
was about a month and a half ago. I was pretty damn certain you were cheating on me by that point, but after speaking to my parents and brother, they recommended I gathered incontrovertible proof of what you were doing before confronting you. And that's when I decided to hire a private investigator who specializes in catching cheaters.
You hired a frickin' private investigator?
Everything I just sent you was from the investigation results report. Turns out he's very good at his job.
Oh, Oh my God. Hey, this isn't fair. I did my best to come up with a way we could divorce smoothly and painlessly, God damn it. You hired a freaking professional? I can't believe you.
Isn't it normal to hire a private investigator when you suspect your husband of cheating on you? Evidence is important, and I wasn't about to risk letting you know I knew by trying to tail you myself. Anyway, divorce smoothly and painlessly? What the hell's that supposed to mean? Don't act like you cared about not hurting me. This was nothing but a ploy to get me to divorce you while hiding your affair to get out of paying me compensation. Whatever. It doesn't matter now. So if I were you, I wouldn't even bother wasting the effort it takes to try and worm your way out of it. We're getting a divorce, and that's that.
What?
By the way, have you noticed yet? Today marks the 3rd month of you flat out ignoring me.
Wow. 3 months.
I guess you got so wrapped up in your affair, you totally lost track of time. Anyway, don't worry, because you finally got your wish. I'm divorcing you.
Hang on a sec here, Sarah, please.
I already moved back in with my parents.
Whoa. Say what now? This is all happening too fast.
Is that so? I didn't exactly move yesterday, Tyrone. I had all my stuff moved from the house when I found out you were cheating on me a month ago. I haven't been there for ages now.
Huh? Your stuff is gone?
Were you so absorbed in your affair you didn't notice half of the rooms in our house were empty?
Well...
Whatever, it really doesn't matter anymore. Goodbye forever.
What the fuck? Wait a sec! Holy hell. Am I really this screwed?
Tyrone! What is happening? What's this weird envelope that showed up in my mailbox? I thought it must be a case of mistaken identity, but when I opened it, it said I have to pay a frickin' compensation?
Vicky, it's my wife. She found out about us. She knows everything.
What? How?
She told me she saw us going into your apartment a month ago. You know, not long after you moved in there. God damn it, I'm so screwed.
You're screwed? No, I'm screwed. But wait a second, how is this possible? We were so careful. We picked the place by Bakewell Station intentionally because it was so far away from anywhere your wife goes. We literally couldn't have been more careful. How could she possibly know? And this quickly? Something doesn't add up here. Explain.
You know my wife's a pharmacist, right? Well, she got transferred to the pharmacy by Bakewell Station recently.
Huh?
Apparently she saw us because the road that leads to your apartment is right in front of the front window of the pharmacy. She had a full view of us walking by together every time. That's what she told me just now.
Oh my god. You better be freaking joking me, Tyrone. If this isn't all some kind of weird prank, I am seriously gonna lose my head. Do you have any idea how much money I spent to move here to be with you? I am flat out broke now. There is no way I can afford to pay compensation.
But, think about it, baby. It's not so bad. Sure, we might end up having to pay her a little something, but at least she's finally divorcing me now. This is what we've been waiting for all along, right? Surely the compensation is a small price to pay for our love.
That having to pay her a little something is exactly what we were so careful to try and avoid all this time, you doofus. And it's not a small price. She's demanding a frickin' arm and a leg here.
Hey, don't call me that. I mean, sure, things didn't exactly go as we planned, but at least we still have each other, right?
We're finished.
What?
I said we're finished. Me and you are through, so you can pay my share of the compensation.
What the hell? Are you being serious right now? You're just gonna dodge responsibility the moment things get tough?
We're not together anymore, so I don't have any responsibility to you.
No, we're not finished.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not!
I am absolutely not paying a single cent of this goddamn compensation, you low-life jerk. As our two former lovers were locked in a bitter feud, both of their parents paid me their share of the compensation in a lump sum on their behalves, promising to make their wayward children pay them it all back. With that, I filed the divorce papers and things finally calmed down. It felt great to finally wash my hands of the waste of space known as Tyrone, whom I allowed to steal so many years of my life, and I breathed a sigh of relief knowing I'd never have to deal with him ever again. From that point onwards, nothing that happened to him was my problem. Amazingly, I found out later on that his ex-lover Vicky got fired from her job. I guess it's only natural her boss was a little pissed off when he found out she'd been using their company car for her secret trysts with my ex-husband. Word is, it was the stains on the back seat that gave them away. Last I hear, they're both working several part-time jobs to come up with the crazy amounts of debt they owe their parents. As for Vicky, she got so absorbed in the affair that she started neglecting her freelance work, which meant her income took a massive hit. Still, that doesn't change the fact that she had to pay her parents back. Feeling lost and desperate, she felt she had no choice but to turn to nighttime work. Apparently these days, she spends her evenings on street corners waiting for seedy old men to pick her up. Thanks for watching, folks! We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to help the channel out by liking and subscribing. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Yo, Frankie, sup? Man, it feels like forever since I last talked to you. Yeah, it's been a pleasant 8 years. Why'd you have to go and ruin it by texting me like this? Come on, dude. Is that really how you're gonna greet an old friend? An old friend? As in someone who I no longer consider a friend? You should be grateful that's all I had to say about you, considering what you did. You slept with my wife, got cut off by your parents, turned everyone who was once your friend against you, and had to leave town to escape your ruined reputation. Didn't you move out of state? Well, yeah, but anyway, you're still working in town, aren't you? What's it to you? I just thought I might stop by and visit my old buddy Frankie and shoot the breeze for a while. Don't bother. You don't know where I live anyway. Not to worry. I got your address from one of our classmates who didn't know about our history. Unbelievable. Seriously, though, what do you think you're doing? You don't have any right to be texting me anymore, much less actually coming to visit me at my house. Oh, please, don't be like that. It's been 8 years. That's all water under the bridge now, all right? I'll still feel the same way about you 80 years from now. So don't you dare come anywhere near me. If you're really still that angry, why haven't you blocked my number? Just to keep tabs on you. There's no telling what a sociopathic moron like you will do. So it's safest to be able to at least have some advance notice of what you might be doing. Consider it like a vaccine for a virus named Luke. Wow, you're harsh. Not harsh, just honest. Well, if I'm gonna be honest, the truth is that your vaccine was a dud. Huh? What now? You got remarried, didn't you? Yeah, and? And you had a kid too, right? What's with these questions? I don't feel compelled to tell you anything about my life. Nah. You don't need to tell me anything. I already know everything. Tell you what, Frankie boy, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret I've been keeping from you. Secret? Get this. You know that precious little baby your wife gave birth to? It's not yours. It's mine. What? What are you talking about? You don't have to believe me. But if you get a paternity test, it's not going to be yours. But seriously, what's with you? You haven't even seen your wife in 2 years. How did you not realize the baby wasn't yours when she told you she was pregnant? Do you not even know how babies are made? For real, Luke, what in the world are you talking about? You've never met my current wife. You don't even know her name. That's what you think. I'm like a home-wrecking ninja. I sneak in undetected and bam! Your wife is now my plaything. You should know that. It's how I stole your last wife from you. I was getting with her for 2 whole years and you didn't even notice. I only let you in on the whole thing because I got bored. What kind of idiot doesn't notice his wife with another guy for that long? You're such a loser. Are you going to start making sense anytime soon? Huh? Who are you talking about? Luke, is this really you? Did someone take over your account or something? Or maybe you're just drunk out of your mind? Drunk? Well, maybe just a little. And it's a real me. I see. Well then, I don't want to deal with you for any longer than I have to, so I'll give you the bare minimum information necessary to get you to leave me alone. First off, I'm not living in our old town anymore. What? Second, I don't have any kids. Hold on. Oh, I get it. You're lying to try and get me to go away, aren't you? How pathetic. Sorry, Frankie boy. It's not gonna work. You're free to think whatever you'd like. I'm just telling you the truth. Now, if you excuse me, I need to get back to work, so I'll be taking my leave from this conversation now. Hey, hold on. I just told you I'm sleeping with your second wife. How can you be so chill about this? Not only that, the daughter that you thought was yours is actually mine. Should you be more, sad? I thought you'd be lying on the floor crying your eyes out by now. Well, I guess it doesn't really change my plan, so whatever. At first, I was planning on dumping her after I told you about our affair like the last time. But I actually kind of started to like her. That's why I got her pregnant, to make sure I could get her to divorce you and be with me. In other words, your wife and daughter are now mine. Everything went exactly as I planned. I win, you lose again. I hope you're ready to be a twice divorced loser. Be a pal and sign the paperwork as soon as you get it, okay? What's up, Frankie? I heard you absolutely lost it when your wife told you that she was going to divorce you. And then when she told you about your daughter. She said you didn't believe my text, but when she told you in person, you completely broke down and cried like a little girl. What's up with you, man? I already told you all of that. You should have believed me from the get-go. It would have saved you the humiliation of crying in front of your wife and daughter. I guess the truth finally set in, huh? Well, good. That makes my life easier, since now you'll agree to the divorce for sure. Just remember, it's what's best for your daughter. Or should I say, my daughter. Yo, Frankie, what's your deal? You never responded to my text yesterday. Are you trying to ignore me? Seriously, dude, grow up. You're a grown man. You're gonna have to deal with this like an adult. I guess I'm gonna have to tell you something that'll make you reply to me for sure this time. Know what I'm gonna do? Your wife. In your house. You gotta move it along, man. At this rate, your wife's gonna give birth to my second kid before you divorce her. Just knock before you come in, alright? Come on, Frank. You're starting to tick me off now. I wanted to settle this once and for all yesterday. That's why I texted you while I was with your wife. But once again, you didn't even reply once. How long are you going to keep running away from me, Frank? Do you think this is all going to go away if you keep ignoring me? You're going to have to face me sooner or later, Frank. Now text me back, tonight. Your wife and daughter are mine, like it or not. Sorry to have kept you waiting, Luke. There you are. I was doing a little digging into something, so I thought I would hold on from replying until I had dug up what I was looking for. Digging? What do you mean? I see you're very confident that you've stolen my wife and daughter from me. The woman you're with, her name is Luna, right? Yeah, your wife Luna. That's what I've been saying. Luna isn't my wife. What? She's my younger brother's wife. Your younger brother's wife? You're really something else, Frank. I was your best friend when we were kids. I lived next door to you until 8 years ago, for crying out loud. I know you don't have a younger brother, so tell me another one. Actually, I didn't even know I had a younger brother until about 6 years ago. And since you were run out of town 8 years ago, there's no way that you would know about him. Wait, what? I don't understand. To be more precise, he's only my half-brother. So that means, yeah, my parents got divorced when I was 3, so I know you knew that my dad had left us to move away. Well, yeah, I knew that. My dad got married to another woman, and they had a son. My half-brother Ken. Okay, go on. Ken got married last year, a little over 2 years ago. But just this last year, the company he was working for went bankrupt. So he had to move out of the company housing he had been living in up until then. At that point, my dad and Ken's mom had already divorced, and Luna's parents had passed away in a sudden accident several years prior. So since the two of them had nowhere else to go, and I happened to live nearby, I let them come and move in with me in my house for a while. Hold on. You said that you weren't living in our old town anymore. What's the deal? I'm just getting there. Be patient. Just about a month after Ken and his wife moved into my place, my company told me they were sending me to work at our company headquarters in another country. What the? Another country? You mean you're not even in the country right now? That's right. My wife and I moved overseas together 10 months ago. And if everything goes according to plan, I'll be staying here for another 6 or 7 years. Seriously? And as for my old place, it was a rental house. So when I moved over here, I just had Ken take over the lease and he and his wife kept on living there. Man, this is an insane story. I had no idea. Man, this sucks. I was feeling great thinking that I managed to break up 2 of your marriages. But she's not even your wife? Ugh. I went to all that trouble for nothing. Whatever. I'm done with you. Later, Frankie. Frank, you there? I'm in big trouble. You gotta help me out, dude. Ugh, what do you want now, Luke? You do understand that we live in different time zones, right? True time zones. I'm in full-on crisis mode, Frank. Go on. Your half-brother, Ken, he's suing me. And Luna just showed up at my apartment door with her kid and all her stuff. Okay, and? I'm not sure what you're so surprised about. This is the only possible way this could have ended for you. What do you mean, why? You slept with a married woman, Luke. That means her husband, my half-brother Ken, can sue you for your part in her infidelity. Really? Don't tell me you forgot. You should have gotten the exact same papers in the mail when you slept with my first wife. That was when your parents agreed to foot the bill for the lawsuit settlement in exchange for cutting you out of their will. I guess I can understand how you forgot. At the time, you were just happy that your parents were going to pay it and wouldn't cost you a thing. I guess their act of kindness kept you from feeling the pain that hopefully would have taught you a lesson. And that's it. My parents. I can get them to pay for the lawsuit. Are you drunk again or just not paying attention? They cut you off, disowned you. What else am I supposed to do? Luna's here demanding that I support her and the kid. I don't have that kind of money. I'm barely getting by on my own. If I can't get my parents to help me, then how am I supposed to come up with the money to feed 2 more people? Well, I guess you could ask your parents to bail you out again. If you can find them. What do you mean? I know where my old house is. Was, not is. I looked it up and the place where your old house used to be is now a new apartment complex. What? It's gone? Why? Isn't it obvious? They sold it and moved away. Their reputation in the community took a nosedive thanks to your escapade with my first wife. I also can imagine it would be pretty uncomfortable living next door to the person whose wife their son slept with. So they probably wanted to put it all behind them and start fresh elsewhere. Where did they go? Don't ask me. I have no idea. You've got to have some idea. Nope, not a clue. Are we done here? I want to get back to sleep. Hey, you can't just go to sleep at a time like this. I told you, idiot. Oh, we live in different time zones. Yes, I definitely can go to sleep right now. That's not the issue. The issue is I'm having the crisis of a lifetime over here. I would never in a million years lift one single finger to help you out of a crisis you might be facing. And not even to save your life. How can you say that to me? If you really don't know, then there's nothing that I could say to make you understand. I'm going back to bed now, Luke. Good luck. Frank, you can't do this to me. You got to help me. I heard about everything that happened next from my half-brother Ken. Apparently, it all went down pretty quickly. He was concerned that Luke and Luna might skip town to try and avoid paying him the money they owe him. So, while he got a lawyer to advance his case through the legal channels as quickly as possible, he also asked the CEO of his company for advice. The CEO told Luke that he had some connections in a particular sector of society that might be able to deal with the 2 of them. The CEO's acquaintance quickly agreed to take on the task of encouraging Luke and Luna not to leave town, and even gave them jobs and a place to live while they work off their debts to me. The company that hired them has a very strict disciplinary system in place, so I don't suppose the 2 of them will be causing any trouble in the near future. Plus, they're making all their payments on time. I was concerned for their daughter, though, since she's a totally innocent party in all of this, but Ken's CEO pulled some more strings and she got taken in by a kind and loving family. I'm not very hopeful that Ken will ever be able to be anything resembling a decent human being, but I hope his time at his new company will straighten him out, even if only for a little bit.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.